What up, everybody? How's it going? I'm so excited to be recording this episode because we are embracing all the resources that we have in this life so that we can control the variables that we can control, so we can take action on things that we can take action on, and we can manifest a sustainable sense of success. All right. And it's going to start with prioritization. If you're neurodivergent, I totally understand any panicky feelings you might have when it comes to talking about prioritization. I totally get it. I am going to show you an exercise that very easily can be a system that I have done with most of my clients, and every client that I have done it with, regardless of how chaotic or organized of a system that they already had pre-existing, was illuminating for them. Okay. And what's nice is, again, it's scalable. You can keep doing it. You can put it on a schedule, and allow that to be your prioritization model if you like. So there you go. All right. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you stay until the end, there's a message from source, from the universe, from the highest and greatest good, from divine unconditional love, however you, whatever language you speak. But the message that you need to hear, as it serves always your highest and greatest good. All right. So there you go. I love you guys. You're amazing. You're awesome. You have got this. You're already perfect. All right, boo. Peace. Enjoy. And welcome to Pilar's Corner. Um, so I feel like at the beginning of the year, sometimes we can get into a little bit of decision paralysis, or having way too many goals, or way too many to dos. And essentially, you've got this massive to do list, or you've got this massive endeavor of goals, and you don't know what to do with them. Right. So now you've got the to dos, you've got all the ideas, all the ideas, all the ideas, you have them. Okay. Congratulations. You have all the ideas. But now you're stuck in the prioritization phase. And I feel like prioritizing is just classically, universally, incredibly difficult. So I'm going to help you guys with a not so quick and dirty, but incredibly highly impactful way to really prioritize and just like set it and forget it. You do it once and that's it. It's done. The only thing you need is a to-do list. You do need already a list. Okay. So we're going to be operating from the perspective and workshopping from the perspective that you already have a list of crap that you're essentially like, okay, great. All of these, I feel good about all of these, but I feel lots of different ways about all of these, right? So we're going to do that. Let's get into it now. So we have our to do list. We're going to essentially be creating a priority system around three variables. We're going to be using three specific variables to measure priority. Now, if you're a visual person, this is going to be great. Okay. If you're a visual person, this is like, this is money. If you like to create a board with post-it notes, that's awesome. You can do a digital version through Canva. You can just do it on your desk. You can just draw it on a piece of paper. I've done it lots of different ways because I am never satisfied with any system that I ever have, except for this one. And especially for my ADHD clients, this has worked absolute wonders. Why? Because we normally have like a million to-do lists, not even a million to-dos. We have a million to-do lists. So we have like lots of different lists all over the place. We don't really know what to do with them except for just kind of like throw pasta at the wall. It's like whatever we look at. And it's like, okay, am I feeling good about that one? Am I not feeling good about that one? Am I feeling good about that one? Am I not feeling good about that? And we make the decision in the moment. Then again, we can also just like be completely freeze up, right? There's a lot of coping mechanisms that we use when we have a lot of to-do lists. But I'm a big fan of like whatever process you have, right? This doesn't change that process. Okay. This doesn't change any process that you already have. And I would highly stress to you that however your process is, even if it feels like chaos and whatever, it's your process and you've gotten this far. Okay. So don't feel bad. And it's a journey. It's a journey. And like, this is who you are. And that's beautiful. Okay. And so if you're, watching other videos and they're like, you got to do it this way and this is the way and blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, babe, you're great. Don't worry about it. This is just about prioritization. This is what we're focusing on here. This is if you have a to-do list and you don't know what to do with all these to-dos and you're struggling to prioritize. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, these three variables that we're going to use, it's two primary variables. And then the third one is the way that kind of creates differentiation in everything. So the two variables is like a first phase of organization. And then the second variable is like a very quick knowing of like, bam, you can see it. If you're a visual person, this is going to be like really, really, really helpful. It's just going to pop out to you. What are the highest priority items? If that sounds exciting to you, it's very exciting when it happens because you're like, oh my God, it makes so much sense now. It's great. I love it. So these two variables are impact and effort. Okay. You're going to be measuring high or low impact and effort for all of these items. Okay. And then, so you're going to have like high effort, high impact, high effort, low impact, low effort, high impact, low effort, low impact. But basically, you have a 4 quadrant diagram. Okay, so you can have an x axis and a y axis. And so one axis, it doesn't really matter, is going to be effort, and the other axis is going to be impact. You're going to have effort and impact each on their own axis. Okay. So now you have these quadrants, and you're going to just go through each of the tasks and write them down on post it notes. And you're going to ask yourself, is this a high impact task or a low impact task? Now, this is a process because you have to be honest with yourself about what the answers are. That is a process. That is a process. Part of that process is identifying with yourself, what do I have a tendency to see as high impact? What do I have a tendency to see as high effort? What is it to you? And if you're someone who's like really insecure about the goals that you've set and all of that, this is going to be a little extra hard because you're going to go through a process with yourself of identifying where, what things are what and from what perspective. Are you doing this from your perspective? Are you doing this from the perspective of that voice in your head, right? Are you doing this from the perspective of your husband? Are you doing this from the perspective of your friends? What perspective are you doing this from? Ideally, you're doing it from your perspective and you are in alignment with all these to-dos and your overarching goals, right? And you have alignment there, and then it's going to be easier to identify. But if not, this is a great way to figure out what you're battling with in your mind too, right? Because you might be like, all of this is high effort, or all of this is high impact. All of this is high impact, right? And when I used to be a project manager and a studio producer, right, there's this sentiment. If everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. Okay. If everything is fucking important, guess what, everybody? None of your shit is important. So we got to pony up and we got to have real fucking conversations about what actually is important because you can't all be battling going, my shit first, my shit first. So then nobody's shit is important, actually. Okay. Because nobody's shit's going to get done. Right. So you have to be really clear with yourself in differentiating all of that. Hi, baby. Still. All right. Don't do that. I love you. Please let me finish. We're gonna have food soon, okay? Do you want pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want pizza and you want to be fed, you must leave now. Mm. Okay. No, but for real. But for real, please, please, please. I love you. Ew! Are you licking? Where was I? Okay. So, if you're in a place of trying to figure out how to untangle the mess of what is actually impactful or what is actually effort, this, I hate to tell you, you have to go through this either through this little exercise or through another exercise eventually. But this is something that you have to learn, okay? Is how to measure your level of effort, okay, in getting something done and the impact that something has on your life. It requires you to be in alignment with what your goals are, and it requires you to have some self awareness around your output and what you're actually capable of doing, like in a day, in a week, right? What you're actually able to do. So, with that being said, those are the two variables, okay? Those are the two variables. That's the x axis and the y axis. Impact and effort. Very important. Okay? You can do that. Awesome. Whew, it is an exercise. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Okay? It will change your life if you can do that because you're gonna look at your shit and you're gonna go, oh, I can look at all this from a different angle. Okay. But now I'm about to blow your mind. Now I'm about to like blow the top off this bitch. Okay. Now you're probably thinking because there either you identified it already or you had that little tickle in your, your ovaries of like, but what about if it's urgent? What about if it's critical, right? Urgent slash critical. That's your third variable, babe. Okay. Great thing about this is why I love this process. Okay. You have it, you're visualizing it, you're looking at it. Basically, what you do is that you identify which things are urgent via very simple a star, a heart, a color, whatever it is. Okay. But you identify this is actually urgent. This has like a time cap on it. Okay. There's a time cap on this. So you can then see when it's on the diagram, right? And you can look and you've got all your stuff on there and you can say, okay, I now know what is high impact and low effort. Lovely, delicious. I want more of this, right? High impact, low effort. That's the good stuff. That's the we want that. We want more of that. But say you have 5 of those. Okay, you've got 5 of those in there. But which one is urgent? Now you know, based on where everything is, what things are actually urgent. Now you have your stars that just pop up off of the page, off of wherever. And then if it's Excel, you can just I'll just use a little emoji. I usually use a little heart sparkle emoji, which you'll see if you want my spreadsheet. You can let me know. But you see it, it pops out at you. And then you go, okay, cool. Bitches, guess what? That's your priority. That's your priority. That's what's your priority. Because you can also have things that are urgent, but they're actually not impactful. Okay. They're not impactful and they're high effort. When you really think about it, like you may really want it and you're like, oh, that'd be so nice. It's actually not impactful. But then again, maybe like, oh, I really want it. But it's because like I really fucking need it too. Right. Then you'll be like, oh, and it's critical and it's urgent. I get to make that. See, I did it. I did the work. And the thing that I wanted to do, it's high priority. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right? This is the work. This is the work. When they talk about are you doing the work? This is the work. Because this puts you in the process and in the flow of asking yourself important questions. Okay. Asking yourself important questions, hard questions, because this is annoying. All right. Like nobody wants to be confronted with hard questions and be like, "Mm, so do you really think that that's possible? Do you really think that that's possible? Is that really actually important? Do you really need to buy that bag?" Right? Do you really need to give that person more of your time? Right? Maybe you told somebody you were going to do something for them and then you realize, like, I fucking don't want to do this. This has zero impact on my life. Maybe on the friendship, sure, but I've been doing a lot for this person, right? Whatever it is. But you're going to have, it's going to force these conversations with yourself. And time consuming? That's a very good question that nobody asked, but I'm going to answer. And that's actually what's really nice about the system too. I used to do this every week. So I would have my to-do list for the week, things that I needed to do, things that were like on the top of my mind. And this could be spillover from the last week, from the last quarter, or whatever, right? But I have my to-do list. And then I'll do it for the week. Okay. I'll do for the week in the perspective of for the week. So is this impactful for the week? Is this high effort for the week? Right? What is this in perspective of the week? And then I'll do that for every week. If you're familiar with Scrum methodologies, which is an agile methodology in terms of like project management, blah, 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 blah. It means you're on an iterative approach to tasks and to workload. Okay. So you have what are called essentially sprints. And this can be a week sprint, 2 weeks, you can have a 4 week sprint, but you plan work in that sprint. So you can do this process. So you're not doing it for like, if you've like 600 tasks for ideas or whatever, right? You're not doing it for all of it at once. You're going like, okay, for this week, what is my idea of a chunk of these tasks that I want to kind of import into here, right? I want to, even if it's ambitious, even if it's like, okay, I'm absolutely not going to get to 200 tasks or 100 or whatever. I don't know why I'm saying numbers this high. In reality, it's like 20, right? Like that's probably more of a stretch goal, like 20 to 40, right? Tasks. You're going to move those tasks into this exercise. Okay. And you can keep everything else on the backlog, whatever. You got it there. That's totally fine. Whatever. Again, whatever. Praise be to your process as it should be. So you're going to take those tasks and you do it for whatever duration of time you want to do it for. You want to do it for the week. You want to do it for the month. Do you want to do it for the quarter? It's up to you. All right. So there you go. That's the process. It's very simple. Again, when we're talking about the work, this is the work. But this is super, super impactful. If this is something that, you can do with a friend, you can get support through community and do it together, right? If you are somebody who, struggles with staying on task and sensory overload and needs sensory management, I totally understand. I always have some sort of media around me so that I can kind of switch gears, or I have some sort of music going on to kind of help ground myself in the moment of what it is that I'm doing. And I don't sort of spiral off and start to get anxious. Um, so just keep that in mind. Whatever your process is, do that, right? Trust your process and then learn through your process. Whatever your process is, it can change. It can change, but more importantly, evolve, right? It's going to evolve. And if that feels chaotic for you, maybe it is, but maybe it's your process, right? Trust yourself in doing your work, not somebody else's work and not somebody else's homework and tasks and whatever, blah, 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 and process. Do you. Do you. So even in this process, if you feel like that makes sense and that doesn't make sense, baby, please, for the love of God, amen. Do you. Take what resonates, leave the motherfucking rest. Okay? So, if you want, we're going to do now a little reading, okay? Message that you need to hear as it serves your highest and greatest good. Okay. Message that you need to hear as it serves your highest and greatest good. Please and thank you, thank you, thank you. I always like to get through the whole deck, even though shit already flew out at the beginning. Oh my god, I love it. It's the 8 of Wands. It's the 8 of Wands. Okay, you see that? Got homegirl, she's on her motorcycle, she's in go, go, go mode, and not only that, she's, like, in that open landscape. It's like the desert or some shit, and she's just going. She's going. The 8 of Wands says, "Go, go, go, go. Do, do, do. You got this." Like, literally, and what I love, she's on the motorcycle. You can't pack much on a motorcycle, right? It means you can't think much. You just gotta go. You just gotta do. And so, whatever it is and wherever you're at right now in your process, just do, just go. Don't hesitate, right? What is the next step? I do an interview with my husband, um, and he's just a master at this, right? And he's a high performing athlete, and he's always every single day, every part of his process, he is constantly confronted with the sense of like, I don't want to do this. But he can quickly identify what is the next step. Even if he doesn't want to do it, what is the next step? And then he just does it because he knows what the next step is. And so he can just sort of like almost fall forward. Right? Because you're like, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to focus on this next step. I'm just going to focus on this next step. Do that. All right, boo. So if wherever you're at, you can identify whatever it is your next step is, do that. Feel movement, however that looks, right? I know it's hard sometimes when we're feeling in a catatonic state, but I'm telling you right now, right? However it is that you need to change the channel for yourself, right? I say even clap your hands, shake it out of your body. This is coming from someone who's also autistic. But I feel like this helps a lot of people, right? You need to change the channel. Like, listen to music that inspires you, watch a show that you know is your happy place that will just lift lift you out of that energy of feeling catatonic, because the message right now, babe, is to move. It is to go, cuz bitch, you got this. You got this. As long as you move forward, you got this. And it doesn't matter if it's a micro inch, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a micro inch or if it's massive. Both both of those movements, both of those metrics, that is success. That is success. Okay? That is success. You got this. All right? I love you. You're amazing. You're awesome. You are already perfect. And you got this. Bye.